Bueno, voy a hacer un taller esta noche, a ver si lo termino en 2 horas o 3. El taller anterior había puesto chill aquí. En el taller de ayer puse estos chill, pero el efecto que estaba buscando no lo conseguí. Pero estaba pensando de que si lo puse en este lado, tengo que ponerlo acá también. A ver si me funciona ahora. Así que tengo los chill aquí, están todos cortados. Y se van a colocar aquí y acá. Porque recuérdate que el gel son 2. Hay uno y acá hay otro, son 2. Y cuando uno está acá, moviéndose acá, el otro está moviéndose por acá, al otro lado. ¿Ves? Así es que se está moviendo. Así que el taller de hoy va a ser poner los sheets de sheet, estos que están acá, ponerlos acá. On Friday. Now, this is not when we're expecting the big snow or the accumulating snow. There could be some snow upstate, of course, and maybe some flurries in the Catskills and Poconos in the morning. It's this system, a low-pressure area that moves out of Canada and more cold air for. So if we get this scenario happens, how much snow are we talking? Well, from this particular forecast, the American model, showing that we might not see accumulating snows in Manhattan. You might see some in the Bronx. But more than likely, it's north of the city. Once you get to the Hudson Valley, north and west, you could see some accumulations of 3 to 5 inches. Now, there are other forecasts that show accumulations in the city. We're going to keep watching all of them until they start to agree with each other and then give you definitive answers as we go through the rest of the weekend, into the weekend. But that's Sunday night into Monday. Tonight, we're clear. Let's high clouds, 36 degrees in the city, 53 tomorrow on Thanksgiving, and then tomorrow night down to 42. We'll get some rain that comes in here, but that'll be gone by Friday morning. High of 46, turning colder over the weekend again. Saturday is sunny. Sunday night into Monday morning is when we might see the snow. Monday afternoon, though, it clears out. After that, it's pretty dry next week. Power for 70,000 homes. The South Fork Wind Project is going to consist of 12 turbines located 35 miles east of Montauk Point in New York and then 19 miles southeast of Block Island in Rhode Island. It's part of the Biden administration's goal to deploy 30 gigawatts of offshore wind energy by 2030. 30 gigawatts, by the way, is enough energy to power 10 million homes without adding 78 million metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That wind farm is slated to start construction early next year. Almost exactly 10 years ago today, picture postcard from the red planet. Curiosity took the picture from its most recent perch on the side of Mars's Mount Sharp. NASA technicians added the color to where originally 2 photos were taken at different times of day. And liftoff of the Falcon 9 DART. It's official. The NASA DART spacecraft is now on its way to smash into an asteroid. It successfully launched last night. DART stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. It'll test whether it's possible to knock a speeding space rock off course if one were to threaten Earth. If. We're going to have to wait about 10 months for the answer, though. That's when the astronauts are expected to collide in September of 2022. Okay, coming up, Mayor Eric Adams and gun violence. The reason he believes that many more people will soon be able to carry concealed handguns in New York and what he plans to do about it. I'm John Scarborough, and that's at 6. The City Holiday Tradition returns with the crowds that changes for tourists trying to get a glimpse of as well. Rocking goes on a Christmas tree ahead of a big tree lighting next week. And a celebration times 2. A child celebrates her birthday and meets the real-life heroes who saved her life, only to cut off her and her mother after a wild crash. Those stories and much more on that past 1 on Steve Sauce. I grew up here in the Poconos, and now we're covering the Poconos on PTS. We go to all the big events, like the races. Getting to ride all the rides the Poconos has to host. We explore all the downtown. But no matter how much we cover the Poconos, it is really hard to keep up with these two. There's a pretty spectacular racetrack scenery here in the Poconos. You see everything. The Poconos Television Network, everywhere and streaming live at PoconosTelevision.com.
Bueno, pues el taller de hoy va a ser poner aquí los cheats que se supone que pusiera ayer y entonces hacerlo por hoy.
Here comes the thrill of an instant win game. And it's a space of a growing jackpot in one big game. Fast Play Progressive from the New Jersey Lottery. Jersey's fast way to win is the exciting instant win game filled with a fast growing jackpot that keeps growing and growing until it's won, which can happen in the blink of an eye. Play fast for your chance to win big with Fast Play Progressive, because anything can happen in Jersey. The Enhanced Accurate Certified Pre-Owned Program. A better way to buy pre-owned. With a comprehensive 180-point inspection. For scheduled maintenance. In our 7-year or 9,000-mile powertrain coverage. It's like wherever you go. Visit your local Tri-Accurate dealer for attractive offers on certified pre-owned vehicles. This is Dave. He thought he'd save money by getting internet from one company and TV from multiple providers. You see, Dave and his wife watch live TV, tell her favorite kid shows, and Henry loves sports. It was costing Dave a lot. So Dave switched to Spectrum. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV for $24.99 per month each. Call 833-985-4499. Spectrum Internet for speeds of 200 megabits includes a free modem and free online security software. And Spectrum TV with over 125 channels includes live local news, sports, and up to 85,000 on-demand titles. Plus, with a free Spectrum TV app, everyone can stream on their devices anywhere. So now Dave has one bill, one provider, no contracts, and is saving a ton. Be like Dave. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV for $34.99 per month each. Call 833-985-4499 or visit Spectrum.com. Your Senator Chuck Schumer was on the Lower East Side today talking about how funds from the infrastructure bill, he says, we're going to pave the way to a lead-free city. Senator Schumer said funding to eliminate lead pipes across the state, including 137,000 who live beneath the city. The senator said lead in the water has been an issue for decades and has a big impact on the city's children, especially in low-income communities. America and in New York City. And today, Mayor-elect Eric Adams is worried it might get worse because of a potentially coming down soon Supreme Court ruling on carrying concealed weapons in New York. Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo has the story.
America's on trial.
On national TV today, Mayor-elect Eric Adams calling out a teenage gun problem from Kyle Rittenhouse to the neighborhoods of New York.
And now children can get guns and not laptops, iPads.
Adams takes office January 1st in a state with the most restrictive gun laws in the country, but he believes an upcoming Supreme Court ruling will enable more people to carry concealed handguns.
This is frightening when it's about to play out on the stage of the Supreme Court.
At issue is the constitutionality of New York's requirement that people show a special need to defend themselves in order to get a gun carry permit. Supreme Court justices, during oral argument earlier this month, asked lots of questions about the standard for banning weapons, specifically on New York City subways, Yankee Stadium, and Times Square on New Year's Eve.
They're now going to rule that you can carry those concealed weapons.
With bail reform also under a microscope, Mayor-elect Adams said today he'll appoint tougher criminal court judges who will make sure bail laws are enforced to the fullest extent. Adams is expected to name the city's first female police commissioner as early as next week. On his short list, according to sources, Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best, who quit last year over moves to defund her department.
He's going to take the calls of domestic violence, internet crimes against children.
And current NYPD Chief of Patrol, Juanita Holmes. Adams says he'll recreate an undercover anti-gun unit, a position that put him at odds with leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement.
And I'm not backing away from that.
Adams has also campaigned on stopping the criminal behavior he says develops because schools are failing children with learning disabilities. Sources say he has zeroed in on hiring David Banks of the Eagle Academy to be school's chancellor. He runs a network of non-traditional, privately funded public schools for
Ay,
those of color.
not on there, bro.
New York.
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you so much for watching, but stay with us as the news continues. Holidays, I expect a long company of roads and the airports are massive. The other way right now.
And snow for the return home. Storm report breaking down what you need to know to get ahead of the game. Good evening. We thank you for joining us. I'm Natalie Castello.
I'm Joe Scarborough. The Tri-State Thanksgiving getaways in full swing right now. More than 53 million people are packing the roadways, airports, and train and bus terminals across the United States.
It's a busy night. More than 48 million of those travelers are hitting the roads. Just look at these cameras here. Our camera network are all across our area. As you can see, drivers need to be patient and aware. And it's good news for those of you flying. We take a look at the FlightAware's misery map. It's mostly green out there. No major delays. 15 minutes or less out of our area airports traffic.
Over 6 million more people are traveling this Thanksgiving than last year. That is up 13%. And we're watching the potential for snow in our area. We're on the time they're heading back home. We have live team coverage of the getaway and the forecast beginning with this from Sarah Wallace, live in Richfield, New Jersey, with the rush home for the holidays. Sarah.
Well, check it out, Lee. You can see behind me people pulling up here to the pump and drivers saying, ouch. Gas prices are at their highest that they've been nationwide in nearly 10 years. In spite of that, though, 48 million people are expected to hit the road this holiday weekend.
It's a tough reality for the millions driving this holiday. This rest stop full of license plates from all over the country.
It's hard. It's hard. Especially during this time of the year when you're traveling for the holidays.
Gas prices in the tri-state now averaging $3.45 to $3.57 a gallon for regular, up roughly $1.25 from last year.
It's kind of a surprise as it's gone up so much over the last couple of months compared to what it was last year this time, but it is what it is. It's a lot cheaper than flying right now.
And if you're here from Europe, well, you're loving the prices.
$8 to $9 per gallon. That's the price we have to travel to eat right now.
So this is a bargain for you.
It is, yes. It is. We love to stay here in the United States and to drive here.
We've had lots of families traveling to see loved ones for the first time since the pandemic.
What does it mean to be able to go back and see the family in person?
Oh, it's normal. You feel free. This couple going from Maine to Maryland to see family.
It's really special, and I think we've all really felt how much we need that human connectivity, and it's really great to be able to finally have a chance to do that.
Families ready to share, but not everything. Jasmine Reed, coy about her secret recipe for gumbo.
Can you share a little bit? The gumbo, the seafood is the key. In the room. You gotta start with a good roux. Keep on stirring. Don't let that roux get burned. So you're sharing your recipes with just a little bit.
Everyone well aware there are universal do's and don'ts when gathering for the holidays.
What are you gonna stay away from in conversations?
Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and pretty much let's keep it, talk about sports maybe. How's that?
Good advice, although these days sports can be controversial too, so maybe just stick to recipes. Live from the Vince Lombardi rest stop, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
Sarah, I think that's a great idea. All right, thank you for that. All right, let's go to the skies now. TSA agents screening passengers to a rate close to what we're used to seeing before the pandemic. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey estimating that more than 1.4 million Thanksgiving travelers will now pass through Newark's and LaGuardia airports. It's actually the highest since 2019. News for Sarah. My
California. But look how things are going at this hour. Hey, I didn't really want to believe everything you just said because we're seeing it here. We're seeing waves of people show up. They tell us they're ready and prepared. Air travel boom. Mass passengers braving the pandemic regulations in the name of the big payoff. Turkey with family.
We haven't seen this daughter and her family in 2.5 years, really. Since before the pandemic.
And that outweighs the unknown.
I have no idea whether I'm sitting next to an unvaccinated person or not. And that's a little worrisome, but to see family, it's worth it.
This day expected to be the busiest of an already jam-packed week. According to the TSA, on Tuesday, more than 2.2 million people passed through its security lines. This was the 6th day in a row of those kind of numbers, and the first time this happened this year.
Coming out of Houston wasn't bad at all. It was great. It was really crowded when we got here.
Nevertheless, being here among all of these people seems okay to Tommy and his wife.
It's our first time, so we're really excited. We're not worried about COVID. We're not worried about all that stuff. We're here to have fun.
There was a slow-moving line outside to get a COVID test, but elsewhere things are rolling. And it's that baggage train, bags flowing, people ready to grab them, go outside and celebrate with loved ones for the first time since 2019.
We're going to see our cleaning trade for the holidays for Thanksgiving, and I'm excited. She was just the cutest person to talk to today. Her excitement was just written all over her face and her shirt there. You saw it. She told us that she's in town until Sunday. That's the same day we expect the return rush. So if you're going to be at the airport, be prepared to meet all those fellow travelers from the Garden Air by Police Corps.
You gotta have your game face on this year, as always. Okay, Erica, thanks. And train stations throughout the tri-state are packed as well as people are heading out of town. This is video from Mornington Train Hall. You see the travelers with all their baggage, waiting in line. Amtrak says Thanksgiving week is traditionally its busiest travel week, and this year is no different. Estimating about 800,000 riders across the country will ride an Amtrak train this week, Jonathan.
Here's many good news. Some people says this will be good for your trip to see family this Thanksgiving, but there's some questions about your return home this weekend. Janice Hofficer, what do you expect?
That's right, Chuck, and that's the storm that's going to approach on Sunday. For now, though, we have a storm system to our west, a cold front, but that won't be here until Friday. So for now, the weather's good. There's some high clouds rolling through right now, and the airport delays are very slight, less than 15 minutes for all the major airports around the tri-state. So no worries there for the weather, not now. There's that front that'll be moving toward us tomorrow, Thanksgiving. It will be over Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, down towards Memphis, northern Mississippi, and down the Texas coast. And then eventually it gets here on Friday. So for now, things are quiet, and the winds will be light for tomorrow's parade during the day. And when that front comes through on Friday, the first one, it'll bring gusty winds. The second one might bring snow for us Sunday night into early Monday morning. And this could definitely impact travel plans if you're getting back home anywhere out of the tri-state. So we'll talk more about that and time it out coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, we'll see you soon, Janice. Thanks. We are less than 13 hours away now from the return of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that we know and love, and the crowds are back this year. It's the 95th year of the nation's biggest Thanksgiving celebration. Take a look at those balloons being inflated on the Upper West Side. News Force Gus Rosenthal, the best person to do it live on the Upper West Side with all the excitement that's building. Who do you have there, Gus?
Well, Janice was talking about the weather today. I don't really went to the mood, but this is an enormous ice cream cone. So there we have it. First things you see on 81st Street. This is normally a nighttime event. This year it's dayside. So we have from 12 until 6. That was the official end, but you can see a lot of people. They are still here as the New York tradition returns. The helium is flowing on the Upper West Side tonight. As the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon inflation reaches into the sky.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the floats being blown up and like all the things that they are.
New this year, people in the viewing area had to show proof of COVID vaccine.
It wasn't happening last year, so excited to be here this year.
Kids under 12 had to come with a fully vaccinated adult. Now you had to go through the security and the checkpoints, and now you're through it. How's it feel to be here?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great.
Well, back to security tight around the viewing area near the Museum of Natural History. It's got to be safe because the NYPD is going to be out in force. 360,000 pounds of concrete barriers along the parade route. Extra NYPD patrols expected through the holiday season. But some bright sunshine today. We'll hopefully have some more tomorrow, so it's a good day. Baby Yoda, one of 6 new balloons this year. What about Baby Yoda do you like so much?
He's just cute and he's awesome.
As a New York tradition, comes back home. You think this year's a little different? We had a good vibe.
Yeah, I wanted this to be different, and I hope this today is going to be a memorable day for me.
Oh, that we have no doubt. Talking to the parade producers here, they are pretty optimistic the wind and the balloons will cooperate. I'll make an official call, of course, in the morning. But for now, one little bit of business to do. 1, 2, 3. To you and everyone at home, check it out. Live on the west side, I'm just losing the L. News for New York.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's such a blast out there. And don't forget, I want to tell you, tomorrow is the best seat in the house for the greatest right here in our house. You can watch all the excitement in the morning tomorrow right here on News 4. It all starts at 9 a.m.
Monarch Ray's father shouted out in the Georgia courtroom today after the first guilty verdict was read in the case of 3 men accused of shooting and killing his son.
We, the jury, found the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty.
The jury found all 3 guilty of murder and other charges. Travis McMichael and his father, Greg, chased the unarmed black man last February, saying they thought he burglarized a home in the neighborhood. The third man, William Bryant, recorded the moments leading up to the shooting. Arbor's mother talked to supporters outside court.
It's been a long fight. It's been a hard fight. But God is good. Yes, He is. Early in, I never saw, to tell you the truth, I never saw this day back in 2020. I never thought this day would come.
In addition to facing life in prison, the 3 defendants still face the federal civil rights case. NBC Nightly News' Pastor Coleman is getting more reaction to this verdict. That's coming up tonight at 6:30. And up next, Gone Without a Trace, the Cleveland gypsy family of the Perry couple goes for a walk in the Pine Barrens and vanishes.
Plus, a first for Coney Island, a makeover coming to the iconic boardwalk. So will it stay open during the process?
Plus, 4 months after a terrific crash.
You can see such a slow go out there. I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. Let's go something too.
Yeah.
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that one.
I love it.
I like that. Current eligible GMC owners get up to $2,500 purchase allowance on 2021 GMC Sierra monthly cool gap miles included from Institute GM Financial. We are professional grade GMC. Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true. With diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this. Now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take control of your sight.
The COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11? Yeah, I have questions. So I called my kid's doctor. I totally trust her. We talked about the lower dosage for younger kids, possible side effects, and why the vaccine is so important. But I still wasn't sure, so I asked her, what about your kids? Are they vaccinated? She said, absolutely. That's all I needed to know. Talk to your child's healthcare provider about COVID vaccines for kids 5 and older.
Just a massive manhunt in Pine Barrens, Ocean County, New Jersey for a missing couple. Hundreds of first responders spread out over hundreds of acres of forest in the Warren Grove section of Stafford Township. And they're looking for any trace of this man and woman. The children, Gary and Lorraine Parker, reported their parents missing over the weekend. The search has been underway for 3 days now.
Right now, it's a missing persons case, and we're keeping all avenues open. But in order to check some boxes, we're doing the footwork here through the piperass.
Today, searched by hundreds of first responders from throughout Ocean County gave up empty-handed work, told that the case will now shift to the investigative side with detectives from Stafford Police and the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office.
Howard County, Oklahoma hosted a pre-Thanksgiving celebration today at the Executive Mansion and part of a very lucky turkey.
It is now official. Sully is saved.
That Sully is Sully the turkey. Would have been the centerpiece of the family's Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, but Governor Hochul stepped in and saved it. He comes from Stonehenge Farms in Livingston Manor, and that's where he will return to live out the rest of his days.
Brooklyn is coming out on Boardwalk getting a major makeover for the first time in its 98-year history. The city announced the wooden boardwalk will be replaced by new materials that are more resilient and sustainable. $114 million in funding will be used for this project. Now, it will be done in phases. That way, portions of the boardwalk can stay open to the public while it's under construction.
That's as we continue with this one of the world's most iconic places. And now you in a cafe of choice for yourself.
Plus a Thanksgiving reunion, a mother and child just thankful to be alive. And she's thankful they used all of their might to lift a car off of her after an almost deadly crash.
Look outside at the traffic, the getaway traffic, and if you are where you intend to be for Thanksgiving, be grateful because look at this, the Wallace Expressway. That's all taillights and headlights creeping along. Busy traffic. The News 4 IT undercover investigation.
Alexa needs a vaccination project.
The Venice Network Casino not to ignore city COVID rules.
Guardian cameras found this casino is not checking vaccine cards at the door, and it doesn't have to.
It went all the way to the top, and New York's governor took action. Your governor now putting the foot down, ordering a casino to reverse it. The governor can't tell me more. More investigations. The News 4 IT gets results.
This Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. America's best-selling trucks are here, and capable SUVs are rolling out. Get great offers on the Ford that's right for you. Like Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV, and Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. So this Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. Right now, the F-150 or Ranger with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $500 bonus cash. Need more Black Friday deals at buyford.com.
This holiday, Tech gift cards are perfect for people to pick exactly what they want. Laser measured footprints that fit your vehicle precisely. When you're on the go, Cup Coffee keeps your favorite milk secure and handy. Segment protects under your sink. There's even something for our furry friends with the pet feeding system. Order the WinnerTech gift card instantly for the holidays at winnertech.com.
I don't really have time. I heard they put a microchip inside that you become like daddy. I'll turn to a song there.
So I guess I have to speak my ass.
But you know what I was thinking?
I want to stay with my grandmother again.
I want to join the baseball team this year. I want to go to the movies in the theater and get a giant popcorn with butter. I want to graduate with my friends.
I think I'll play to Italy to see Rome.
Visit NYC.gov/vaccine finder or call 877-VAX4 NYC to get your free COVID-19 vaccine. Wherever you are turning to, you winner. Get ready with our best deals of the season. Right now, get 2 tickets on the entire lineup of award-winning has a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Two big ones, the lives of her child and herself. They were nearly killed in this crash during the summer. A car slamming into them, trapping them underneath it. Today, she thanked the heroes who lifted that car off the mother and child with their bare hands to save their lives. This was Living the Girl. That's the holiday reunion.
Birthday wishes and a lot of gratitude during a reunion today with the mom and baby and the two youngest police officers who saved their lives.
And I believe in miracles. That we're all here together for the family, Mother Murder, of course, the lady of the hour, Leslie.
Leslie, who turns 1 year old tomorrow, is recovering from burns she received back in July. This camera shows an out-of-control car ramming into Leslie and her mother Myrna, sending them crashing through a barbershop on Lake Avenue in Yonkers. Officers Roscoe Fusco and Paul Hamoyemi happened to be next door.
¿Qué carajo pasó ahí? Ah, se salió.
Next,
Ay, se me descuadró el giro, nena.
Samaritans lifting the car by hand. For the first time since July, the men all reunited with the baby and her mother.
They are recovering, but they're doing great. You know, something to be thankful for. Just happy we were close by and ready to help out.
Police officer Lorraine Fadak, who's been helping the family through this case, read a statement on their behalf.
These last 4 months have been incredibly tough, but Leslie and I continue to do better and get stronger every day. I would have never thought that really is that she both of them would have been like they are right now.
The driver of the car that smashed into the barbershop pleaded guilty to aggravated vehicular assault. He faces up to 15 years behind bars when he's sentenced in a few months. In Yonkers, Linda Pitero, News 4 New York.
I'm just so glad Leslie is recovering now. If you've ever dreamed of having an entire toy store all to yourself, now's your chance. On select mornings between now and January 8th, you can get private access at the Schwartz before it opens to the public. It will cost you $260. Comes with a resident toy soldier escort to tell you all about store's history. The booking fee will benefit Candlelighters NYC. That's a charity that provides emotional and financial support to children with cancer.
With more holiday visitors flock to Rockefeller Center in Radio City, Mayor Blunt's announced the return of the expanded pedestrian space in our area here starting on Friday. 49th and 50th Streets between 5th and 6th Avenues are going to be closed to vehicles to make more room for foot traffic. And the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is a big reason for those crowds. This is time-lapse video from this afternoon. There's crews moving halfway around the tree. And that means it's fully decorated now, and we're ready for the big moment, the tree lighting. And we'll flip that switch 1 week from today. Join Natalie, David Ushering, and Access Hollywood's Maria Lopez for Christmas at Rockefeller Center. That's Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Are you excited about that, Natalie?
I can't wait. We've been talking to Janice about the forecast because really, I mean, snow would be pretty, but we like when it's dry and when it's a little cooler. And that forecast is not changing right now. And neither is the forecast for Thanksgiving, but the forecast for Sunday has changed since I last spoke about a half hour ago. So we're going to show you what I mean. And I'm talking about snow, so we'll get to that in a second. Right now, we want to show you another view of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree from the back side of it, looking down on the ice. And once the tree is all lit, this is going to be a beautiful picture. Of course, that's going to happen in just better days now, next Wednesday. So 43 degrees right now, not bad for skating out there. The winds aren't as strong, and it's not as cold. And it won't be tonight. We should stay above freezing in the city. 36 versus 30, 31, 32. 20s though off in the north and west, still right around freezing across parts of Long Island and coastal Connecticut. Our by-hour forecast shows some high clouds rolling through tonight and tomorrow. And the temperatures in the 50s tomorrow afternoon for Thanksgiving, so still looks great. Still expecting that cold front to come in the wee hours of Friday morning and maybe cause some issues in terms of getting it out of town on Friday morning. But that's early on. It'll move out. Some streaks of lake effect snow flurries may make it into the Catskills and Poconos as well. It does turn colder and windy again. We won't have the winds for Thanksgiving, thank goodness. We don't want that. But those gusts will return on Friday afternoon. 20, 25, 30 miles an hour around the tri-state, which making it feel like it's in the teens and 20s to right around freezing on Friday afternoon. So don't put away the layers just yet. That's storm number 1. So that's going to move on out and move up into Canada. Saturday, our weather is dry, it's windy, it's cold. This is storm number 2. We talked about that a little earlier. That's going to dive south into the Virginias and South Carolina, and then move north right along the coast. This could become a coastal storm on Sunday evening
we could be looking at accumulating snow. Now, we talked earlier about this in the forecast, and it didn't look like there would be much for New York City. You know how forever changing these forecasts can be when it comes to snow. Well, now it looks like there will be accumulating snow in the city. Latest forecast from the American Model, the GFS, which I showed you earlier, shows now that very light snow line of an inch or less accumulation right over the boroughs in central New Jersey, with higher amounts to the north and west. This is Sunday night into Monday, so that would create issues for travelers on the roads and in the air getting in and out of town. For tonight's forecast, though, no problems. 36 degrees tonight, a chilly evening, but not as cold as last night. Tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. We're at 53 degrees with sunshine, and then temperatures will stay in the 40s. We may see some 50s the following weekend, but we will be watching very carefully that approaching storm on Sunday. That could be interesting for us. And the first big snow of the season. It's very interesting.
Interesting, exciting for some of us. All right, Janice, thanks. Still to come on News 4 at 7. An attempt to steal the Navy's mascot doesn't go quite as planned. I'll tell you what some West Point cadets ended up getting instead. We'll be right back with Perspective Plus.
Wake up.
With Today in New York.
Tomorrow at 6, NBC covers the home of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Start the fun early. We'll be there live first thing. Plus, get the latest forecast for the parade and the rest of the weekend. Wake up with Today in New York. Closed captioning provided by Toyota. Let's go places.
We're crunching tons of polygons here.
What's going on? Where's Regina?
Hi, I'm Ladonna. I invested in Visco QQQ, a fund that gives me access to NASDAQ 100 innovations like real-time CGI. Yes. Oh, don't worry, I got it.
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risk charges, expenses, and more. Prospectus at Invesco.com.
When it comes to cholesterol, sometimes diet and exercise aren't enough. Are your numbers creeping up? Not ready for a prescription? Find out if you qualify for an important AstraZeneca study. This study could provide a new level of access to a proven cholesterol-lowering medicine. Find out if you qualify. Go to myheartcarestudy.com or call 866-219-6595.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
When I was 44, a doctor diagnosed me with COPD because I smoked. As my COPD gets worse, moving around gets harder, so I have to pace myself. My tip is, if you're having people over for Thanksgiving, start cooking in October.
Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free Nancy patches and help quitting.
Now you can get Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99 a month. You get 2 or more lines. $29.99. You get unlimited data and 5G included, and you get the most reliable service coast to coast. For $29.99, might I cut through? Go ahead. And you also get the fastest overall speeds for just $29.99 a month. $29.99. Oh, I know. That's very good. This is thousands of hours of advanced research and development. It's a better way to move. Spectrum Mobile. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today. The Spectrum Mobile Sports Desk is brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. Spectrum Mobile has the best deal in mobile. Get close lines of unlimited for only $29.99 each. Switch and save up to 60%. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. Brooksville like variety of quarterbacks. New Yorkshire top line.
This is not an easy town, but they're really good. The Giants will have a new play caller on Sunday against the Eagles. Head coach Joe Judge was coy today, but it's expected to be Freddie Kitchen. Quarterback Daniel Jones knows his own struggles this year contributed to Jason Garrett's ouster yesterday.
obviously, obviously a big part of how we all feel right now. I think, if you don't feel like that, there's an issue, and we don't take responsibility in our lack of production. I certainly do, and that's what makes it tough. So, like I said, it's on all of us to
Steven Matt signed a 4-year, $44 million contract with the Cardinals. And the new deal has Mets owner Steve Cohen Minnesota at the Rock. The Nets visit the Celtics in Boston. So a lot of stuff sports down on the Gravy's involved. Lots of sports to talk about.
You'll be bringing it, Bruce. All right, thanks. Let's talk about the iconic adventure amusement park in Long Island because it's getting a new roller coaster next spring. The vertical coaster will be called the Fireball in honor of the park's 60th anniversary, custom made for Adventureland. It'll be the first of its kind in North America. Let's toss it over to Dave now. We'll go back to top stories, Dave.
All right, the big story, of course, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. They are just finishing up the inflation of the balloons, and we have been seeing crowds, which is good. And we look forward to all the fun tomorrow. Coming up on ABC Nightly News, Black Friday sale won't be as big as years before. See Nightly News with West Home again, right? Tonight, the verdict now in. All 3 defendants found guilty of murdering Ahmaud Arbery. This dramatic moment in the courtroom. The jury found the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. After 10 hours of deliberations, the jury convicted 3 white Georgia men for killing Arbery, a black man prosecutor. They was out jogging. All 3 went away in cuffs. How long they could spend behind bars outside the courthouse celebration and the reaction from Arbery's family. Also, the travel rush on the eve of Thanksgiving, more than 15 million on the move, near pre-pandemic lows. Travelers braving crowded airports and the highest gas prices in nearly a decade. The surge in COVID as we head into the holidays, 3 states seeing a rise in cases, some breaking records. Hospitals sounding the alarm. With the 6th and youngest victim to die from that Christmas parade rampage in Wisconsin, now identified an 8-year-old boy. His brother and 13 other kids still hospitalized. Black Friday almost here, and the supply chain crisis is putting the squeeze on shoppers this year. And when to shop for the best deal? Another back in full force, the balloons, the floats, and the clouds. The final preps for this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Good evening. There was no self-defense, no lawful citizen's arrest, just murder. At least that's how a jury in Brunswick, Georgia, barely saw it in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. In their second day of deliberations, the jury found the 3 defendants guilty of chasing down and murdering the 25-year-old black man as he ran through a neighborhood. A person who fired the fatal shot, Travis McMichael, guilty of 9 counts related to Arbery's death. His father, Gregory McMichael, and neighbor William Bryan, guilty on most of the counts. Arbery's mother, who fought to bring her son's case to justice, welcoming the verdict tonight. In the end, the case that evoked a painful history of racism amid worries of an uneven playing field was decided against 3 white men in the Deep South by a nearly all-white jury. Sam Block is at the courthouse starts with the verdict and reaction. All right.
A series of guilty verdicts that took about 10 minutes to read.
Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty.
Ripple through the courthouse and the crowd outside. Demonstrating justice for a law robbery could speak to decades of discrimination.
I never thought this day would come. But God is good. Would you know him as a mod? I know him as Quez. Yes. You are now rest in peace.
Brunswick, Georgia will go down in history. Criminal justice took a different turn.
The jury's verdict, guilty on 23 of 27 possible counts, including malice murder for the shooter Travis McMichael, who was found guilty on all counts. Felony murder, an aggravated assault for his father Gregory, who drove a truck. The same for neighbor William Rodney Bryan, who helped begin arguing with his vehicle and shot the video used in court. The defendants claiming from the beginning they were just protecting their community and acting in self-defense.
Your client was convicted of murder. Your reaction? We're very disappointed with the verdict, obviously. But we have to respect that verdict.
Do you think your client was conducting a citizen's arrest?
No, I'm not going to answer that question.
President Biden saying Ahmaud Arbery's killing, witnessed by the world on video, is a devastating reminder of how far we have to go in the fight for racial justice in this country. With the family now celebrating the so for the cheers, relief, and hugs felt by the hundreds of supporters.
Unspeakable joy. I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm overjoyed that I heard our prayers.
There's also a painful acknowledgement that the joy comes from so much heartache.
The verdict, to me, it really did help because I thought it could. I have full service.
A battle for racial equality still underway, but on this evening, supporters say the scales of justice looking a little more even.
Ceremony wording when sentencing will take place.
And the judge said in court today was that sentencing will be in the next several weeks, and the way that Georgia law is structured, the minimum punishment for felony murder is life behind bars. So it's up to the judge to decide whether or not to introduce a possibility of parole. Let's just say,
Ron, tonight, thank you. This evening on this Thanksgiving. prices, but well below the all-time high of $4.11 a gallon back in 2008. Well, Tom, first of all, clearly you're getting around these days, but let's talk about what comes next. This is part one. part 2 of this rush comes Sunday. It's going to be a very heavy Sunday. Heavy traffic on the roads between 1 and 7 p.m. And the airlines say their heaviest travel day yet this year. Get there early. You're going to have a lot of company. Could be their heaviest day in 2 years. In fact, Lester. All right, Tom, and safe travel. See you in your crew. Thanks. Despite this crush of holiday travel, the pandemic is far from over. Travel is adding new concerns as COVID cases rise in 30 states. It will be no holiday for many on the healthcare front lines. Miguel Allen here with that story. We're seeing record levels of hospitalizations. Still, it is safe to travel and get together for the holidays if precautions are taken. Among the most important, knowing what to do if you wake up feeling unwell before a gathering.
The bottom line is, if you don't feel well, you can't get tested, if you can't be sure that you don't have COVID, you just might want to sit this one out.
Tonight, pandemic precautions as so many Americans navigate Thanksgiving with family again. I gotta say, Miguel, a year ago we were being discouraged from family gatherings, and now officials kind of giving the okay. It's gonna be hard for a lot of folks. Yeah, it is, Lester, but perhaps most notable, 6 out of 10 adults in the U.S. are now fully vaccinated, and booster shots are available to everyone 18 and over who's been fully inoculated for at least 6 months. So while cases are rising for the vaccinated, there is protection. Lester, all right, Miguel, thank you for that. More stories of heartbreak, but also survival emerging tonight from Waukesha, Wisconsin, after that car attack on Christmas parade killed 6 people and injured many more. And new details now about the suspect. Megan Fitzgerald is there.
Tonight, the community shattered as more details emerge of the youngest victim of the horrific attack in Waukesha. 8-year-old Jackson Sparks was marching the parade with his baseball team Sunday. The red SUV came plowing through. Jackson undergoing emergency brain surgery but passing away on Tuesday. The family calling it a tremendous loss. His 12-year-old brother still in the hospital, along with at least 10 other kids, many still fighting for their lives.
I was running around looking for my sister.
Kinsali Becerra Montez's 11-year-old sister, Yuretsi, who's now home recovering, was dancing in the parade. Her family was watching the moment she was struck by the car.
Just seeing her there when we had found her, she was conscious, so she was looking up, and she just kept asking what's going on, what happened. She was a little bit sad.
Allie Watcher was also there carrying the banner for the Dancing Grannies.
I heard a tire squeal, and that's when I seen the car heading basically straight for the banner that I was carrying.
Virginia Sorensen was on the other end of the banner.
I was supposed to be on that side.
The car missed Allie, but Sorensen and 2 other members were struck and killed.
First-degree intentional homicide.
Details setting in as court records reveal more about Darrell Brooks' alleged action. Documents say officers tried stopping the SUV, another calling the act intentional.
This is where this community thought they would be the day before Thanksgiving, but they say this memorial and coming together feels like the first step towards healing. Lester?
Megan Fitzgerald, thank you. In just 60 seconds, the art of shopping will guide you to getting the best holiday shopping discounts and when. What you need to know.
Did you know there are surfaces in your home that look clean, but a closer look shows there are often layers of invisible dirt left behind? Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser for a deep down hygienic clean. Magic Eraser removes the messes you can see, as well as more of the dirt and grime you don't. All you do is wet, squeeze, and start erasing dirt and grime all around the house.
days to deliver. No doubt part of tomorrow for many families will be about planning out holiday shopping strategies ahead of Black Friday. But just when should you shop to get the best deals? Here's Jolene Kent.
Experts say the biggest sales on toys will happen tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. The deepest discounts on big-ticket items like TVs, as well as clothes, shoes, and beauty are expected on Black Friday. And look for the best price cuts on electronics and travel come Cyber Monday.
And if you're planning to head out shopping tomorrow, be sure to double-check store hours. The pandemic has really changed things. Major retailers like Best Buy, Target, and Macy's will all be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Lester?
All right, Jolene, thank you. The critical question. Interpol, the world's second largest institution after the UN, defending its reputation.
We are not a political organization.
But China pushing for a place.
Bueno, ya puse el segundo shield, digo el primer shield.
The vote in Istanbul tomorrow. Beijing's candidate, Hu Bin-cheng, who works for a government agency, accused in a recent report of forcing political dissidents to return home. China denies.
Ahí está el shield externo.
50 politicians from 20 countries raising the
Me tomó como 45 minutos. El otro yo lo pongo más rápido.
Chinese government to continue their misuse of Interpol and replace the tens of thousands of dissidents.
Porque ahora vamos para el otro lado. Acá.
They can use this system and try to fight against human rights in China.
China's last official Interpol role ended in scandal. Former President Meng Wanzhou disappeared in 2018 during a business trip to China and is serving a 13-year jail sentence there. This month, his wife's calling China's government a monster. And critics say Beijing uses secretive Interpol red notices, arrest warrants, to pursue opponents around the world, like members of China's Uyghur minority. Uyghur leader Dr. Isa Gulkan says he was subjected to a red notice for 2 decades. It's against Interpol's own rules to issue red notices against political figures. China's foreign ministry telling NBC News in part China's proposal of suitable candidates for the executive committee of Interpol is a specific measure to actively support the organization's goals of combating terrorism, transnational crime, and making the world safer. Tonight, Interpol insisting it is simply a neutral body. Others say tomorrow's vote here in Istanbul is about nothing less than democracy and safeguarding the rule of law. Let's start.
All right, Kirsten and Sydney, thank you. Up next, a new kind of neighborhood market coming right to those who need fresh and healthy food.
This past Saturday and Sunday, Jersey Mike's had another special event
to help raise much needed funds for Feeding America. Because of all of you and communities across the nation, to date we've helped provide over 75 million meals for families in need. Raising up together, we always make a difference. And from all of us at Jersey Mike's, thanks for your continued support in the fight against hunger. Happy Thanksgiving.
As a DJ, I know all about customization. That's why I love Liberty Mutual. They customize my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. How about a throwback? Only pay for what you need.
Wayfair's Black Friday sale is on now. Score unbelievable deals with our biggest sale ever. Like GP appliances up to 40% off, clothes up to 80% off, and lighting up to 65% off. Plus, get bonus payments with the Wayfair credit card. And free shipping on thousands of products. Don't miss our Black Friday. It's happening now through November 27th. Wayfair.com.
With relapsing forms of MS, there's a lot to deal with. Not just unpredictable relapses, always other things too. It can all add up. Kesimpta is a once-monthly at-home injection that may help you put these RMS challenges in their place. Kesimpta was proven superior at reducing the rate of relapses, adaptations, and slowing disability progression versus Relaxio. Don't take Kesimpta if you have hepatitis B, and tell your doctor if you have had it as it could come back. Kesimpta can cause serious side effects, including infection. While no cases of PML were reported in RMS clinical trials, it could happen. Tell your doctor if you had or plan to have vaccines, or if you are or plan to become pregnant. Kesimpta may cause a decrease in some types of antibodies. The most common side effects are upper respiratory tract infection, headache, and injection reactions. Ready for an at-home treatment with dramatic results? It's time to ask your doctor about Kesimpta. We're eating and drinking foods and beverages that are very acidic. It can soften the enamel repair. What it's doing is driving more minerals deep into the enamel surface that's going to help actively repair pronamel. It's taking it to another level.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, boys, now come on. Pull yourselves together. Like your dad said, we put everything together.
Get back. Only on Disney Plus. The original immersive fan-go exhibit is a completely new way of experiencing art and a perfect new way to experience the holidays. Get lost in the sights and sounds of this spectacular, vivid, and breathtaking immersive art experience that ABC calls absolutely stunning. The New York Times raves that the original immersive van-go exhibit is a must-see lavish artistic festival. Go and get your tickets and holiday gift cards today. Smash it at VanGoNYC.com. This Thanksgiving, nearly 40 million Americans are facing food insecurity. Many don't have easy access to grocery stores. So volunteers are bringing the grocery store to them. Here's Stephanie Goss.
Fruits, vegetables, and lean protein, the building blocks of a healthy diet. But far too many Americans don't have access and can't afford them. In Milwaukee, they have come up with a rolling solution. It's the only way I can shop. I can't afford anything else. The Hunger Task Force partnering with Piggly Wiggly to bring healthy, affordable foods to so-called food deserts. The people who are most impacted by food deserts are more likely to be people of color, low-income people, seniors, and people with disabilities. The local market makes stops around the city, savings of 25% or more. Streets here are filled with fast food chains and few supermarkets. More than a third of the neighborhoods in Milwaukee don't have access to quality, fresh food, and that's because a lot of places, small local grocery stores, are out of business. With the pandemic, that situation has only gotten worse. Sheila Cruz is a mom of 2 young daughters. How much would you say is your budget for food a week? A week, I try to save under 100, which sometimes it's not enough. Healthy food often feels like a luxury she can't afford. On the weeks when you can go and visit the local market, how much easier is that? Oh, it's way easier. I got a lot of fruit, veggies, I got like a couple of packages of weed, and I saved $120.
Nearly 20 million Americans live in low-income areas without accessible grocery stores. The mobile markets in Milwaukee could be a model for the country.
I don't think as a country we understand that this is a public health crisis, and bringing fresh food to neighborhoods in need is something that is imperative for all of us.
Perhaps the best way to get the food to those who need it is to put the food on wheels. Stephanie Goss, NBC News, Milwaukee.
Up next for us, a Thanksgiving tradition about to come marching back.
That's the thing about claims, you see, they don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. There's nothing to say, or beg pardon, sir, there's no other time for a joint bit window cracking. Oh, if they did, you wouldn't need the kind of claims dealers available 24/7. But there is other tell chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, for things to do, it's a chestnut, so...
At Fidelity, your dedicated advisor will work with you on a comprehensive wealth plan across your full financial picture. A plan with tax-smart investing strategies designed to help you keep more of what you earn. This is the plan in effect.
Such cream this news. No off words.
With a cost-trusted Steel Dad's punchlines, he takes Robitussin Naturals, powered by 100% drug-free ingredients.
Release me.
Save your cost naturally. Want your clothes to smell freshly washed all day without heavy perfumes? Now they can with Downy Light In-Wash Freshness Boosters. Just pour a cupful of these into your washing machine before each load to give your laundry a light scent that lasts longer than detergent alone, with no heavy perfumes or dyes. Finally, a light scent that lasts all day. New Downy Light, available in 4 naturally inspired scents. This Black Friday, Verizon is doing it better. A lot better. Because right now you can get iPhone 13 Pro on us. Just bring your older damaged phone and we'll give you the phone everybody wants on America's most reliable network. On any unlimited plan. Better, better. And everyone gets up to $800 for his switch. Okay, everyone say Black Friday better with Verizon. Because everyone deserves better. Shop online, in-store, or call today.
No one can deliver your mom's homemade shortbread. For starters, your mom doesn't have a restaurant. If she did, couldn't you possibly get it? She could talk to your franchise and everything. And at that point, they wouldn't really taste like your mom's shortbreads. No one can deliver your mom's homemade shortbreads. That's why Instacart helps deliver the ingredients.
The annual tradition is back. Next at 7, Macy's Thanksgiving and Parade makes a full return after restrictions last year. Where there as the balloons get ready for their big day. Plus, mascot having gone wrong. The plot to swipe the Naval Academy's beloved goat. Next at 7.
Finally, after the pandemic forced it to scale back last year, a beloved Thanksgiving Day tradition is back.
Marley Watts plays the baritone for an all-girl band from Texas, the Ann Richards Marching Stars. She made the trip with her grandma, Judy M.
I'm excited. It's destiny. That's what I would call it.
You see, Grandma Judy once marched in the parade, too. Back in 1971, you say,
trusted, very special. What are the odds? Yeah, we also share that same birthday.
Now, after the pandemic kept them apart last Thanksgiving, they're sharing this, and they're not alone. What does it mean giving to New York to have this back in full force? This year's going to be a really special year for us. An opportunity for us all just, take a couple of hours to be thankful. Last year's parade was downsized with no spectators in a route that measured just 1 block. This year, the crowds will return along with 28 floats, 15 balloons, 10 marching bands, and 1 proud grandma.
This entire time I've been telling my bandmates about how cool it is that my nan's here and she launched 50 years ago. I know for a fact I'm gonna hear them shout my name, but I can't literally not to be able to embarrassed and yelling. Yeah.
A Thanksgiving tradition that truly spans generations. Joe Fryer, NBC News. And you can see the parade right here tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. That's nightly news for this Wednesday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Take care of yourself and each other and have a great Thanksgiving. Wake up with Today New York. Tomorrow at 6, NBC tours the home of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Start the family. We'll be there live first thing. Plus, get the latest forecast for the parade and the rest of the weekend. Wake up. Llegó la venta más grande del año. Black Friday Express. Solo del 26 al 30 de noviembre. Todos los soldados nuevos a 12 meses. Y ahora encuentra puntos. Encuentra el cupón en nuestra página web expressplayer.com. Escoge los últimos modelos de vuelos en CST en Upgrades. Y lo mejor de todo, no necesitas crédito. Entrega e instalación gratis a toda la isla. Red Express. Somos de aquí para ti. Estás viendo NBC Puerto Rico. Island Temperature is brought to you by Rayborn Flanagan. Surround yourself with what you love.
Convicted. 3 men all found guilty of murder in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. We're breaking down the charges and taking a look at what's next. The travel rush is on. From the roads to the airports, it's been a busy day for those heading out for the Thanksgiving holiday. And taking shape, the balloons for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade are going up on the Upper West Side ahead of tomorrow's big day. We thank you so much for joining us. You might be starting your holiday week now with Natalie Pascarella. In just a matter of hours, family and friends will gather for Thanksgiving, but in the meantime, all those last-minute preparations are happening, whether it's the parade balloons that are being inflated or the late-night travelers hitting the roads. Before we get to all the excitement, though, we want to start with Storm 4's Janice Talk with our holiday forecast. Janice.
Hi, Natalie. We're going to start with the holiday lights at the old parachute jump on Coney Island. If you're about to step outside now, make sure you're covered up. Even though we don't have much wind going on, there's really no wind chill to speak of. It's still cool at 42 degrees in New York City. So we'll stay right around 40 degrees through 10 o'clock tonight and then drop off into the upper 30s. It won't be as cold as last night, but just some high clouds streaming by. So it's a nice, quiet evening. As you can see on the radar network, there's nothing to be found across the Northeast. But if we look west, we see those spots of blue and green. The green represents rain, the blue represents snow. That's the first storm system that will move in here on Friday, late Thursday night, Friday. But for Thursday and for the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the weather shouldn't be better. Light winds, sunshine, and temperatures in the 40s, but then making it to the 50s in the afternoon. It'll be nice weather for Thanksgiving Day. Then comes that cold front on the Friday morning, just before sunrise, with some rain. That could cause some rain to travel around the Northeast for Friday afternoon. But we're expecting another storm on Sunday night, Monday, that could bring accumulating snow. I'm going to tell you about that in just a few minutes. Natalie, back to you.
All right, we are all ears on that one, Janice. In the meantime, let's talk about the balloons because they're back after being confined to Herald Square last year. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is returning to its usual route, and tonight, these iconic balloons are all getting blown up. News reporter's Adam Harding on the Upper West Side. Look at the excitement. How's it going there? I see the Macy's one behind you there.
Matt, I've never been to this parade, and I don't know if I will ever get a better look at everything. We're right up close as these balloons are getting the finishing touches before they go out on that 2.5-mile route tomorrow. Of course, this year, very different than what we saw last year. Tomorrow's celebration is going to feel big hope, like it would any other year, minus 2020. Tonight, plenty of excitement as the last-minute touches are well underway. Tonight, the final installation. LSU's pilot is preparing to walk the entire 2.5-mile parade route backwards. Their COVID scaled back 2020's event, the police commissioner and mayor prepared for a return to normal, a celebration of the holiday season.
We are going to have thousands and thousands of men and women in blue. All you have to do at this point is two things. Dress warm and get out here early tomorrow to bring the energy. We're going to have a great day.
These balloons, just for people to come and see them, pumped up, the families come out, kids come out, it's absolutely beautiful. And then the parade itself is one of the best moments of the whole year. And everybody, of course, is here. They are cheering. They are excited. I'd like to say that was scripted, but of course, we were sort of letting them know, hey, there's going to be a crowd. We're going to have them celebrate. They're going to cheer. So much excitement again. And we asked the mayor about crowd size tomorrow, what they expect. They don't have a hard number yet, but they do believe that it will be akin to what we have seen in years past. Again, let's just forget that 2020 was a year. As for what you should know, if you were to come down for the 2.5-mile route tomorrow here, all the way down at Herald Square, the mayor saying, wear a mask. I know it's a big deal now, but even the rehearsals on a cold night, that's a lot of people standing outside for hours just to see the balloons get filled up. So excitement is certainly an understatement. Back to you.
Honestly, Adam, I feel like right now the inflation night looks just as fun. They're having a blast out there.
I might take them out for a spin myself.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Looks like a blast. Don't forget, the best seat in the house, if you don't want to head out where Adam is on your couch. You can watch all the excitement tomorrow morning right here on News 4. It all starts at 9 a.m. All right, let's go to the roadways. We're talking about to the runways. Busy day for travelers heading out for Thanksgiving holiday. AAA predicting more than 53 million people will be traveling and more than 48 million of those will be driving. News 4's Greg Circle giving us a peek at what it looks like on the LIE.
I think this is the busiest day. Parts of the LIE were ready in a crawl when we met an exasperated Bob Federici. The Dix Hills man travels the expressway regularly for work. He wasn't surprised to hear that the AAA had declared the LIE the busiest road in America for the day before Thanksgiving. I believe it, and I can't wait to get off of it, to be honest with you, because I've been traveling all morning. Federici's anguish today had been confirmed by traffic data from 10 major cities. A stretch of the eastbound LIE between Gordon Avenue and Little Neck Parkway is seeing a 482% traffic increase this afternoon, the worst in the nation. And might jeopardize his holiday meal. Thanksgiving. We're in Syosset. Greg
Yesterday. That's 91% of what airports across the country saw 2 days before Thanksgiving in 2019. So we're seeing the bounce back happening. Now, train stations throughout the tri-state were packed as well. This video here from Moynihan Train Hall. You see folks have their suitcases, their bags, waiting in line. Amtrak estimating about 800,000 riders across the country will ride an Amtrak train this week.
In the meantime, the MTA preparing for millions of holiday travelers. Trains and buses operating on special schedules today with extra service to help accommodate this pre-Thanksgiving rush. Some more news now. After about a day's worth of deliberations, jurors in the case of the three men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery reached a verdict. They found all three men who were accused guilty of murder. Travis McMichael, the man who pulled the trigger, was found guilty of all 9 counts of was found guilty of felony murder and several other counts, but cleared of malice murder and 1 aggravated assault count. So that's the breakdown. Arbery's mother spoke after that verdict. Today. So we're joined by legal expert Michael Bachner. Michael, we thank you so much for joining us. We do want to start with a deeper dive into these charges here, because we do understand the man who reported the shooting also facing the murder charges with this.
What the judge basically did is they convicted Travis McMichael of the most serious count, that is the malice murder. The malice murder is basically an intentional decision to kill somebody. They found that the shooting of Mr. Arbery was essentially an intentional act. His dad was convicted of felony murder counts, but not of the malice murder, and the jury must have concluded that there was not an intention on behalf of Greg McMichael to have been involved in an intentional murder. Mr. Bryan was convicted of 3 counts of felony murder related to the fact of his basically cornering and obstructing and essentially falsely imprisoning Mr. Arbery. And as a result of that, a death occurred. Felony murder is essentially any time a certain felony occurs and a death occurs during the course of that felony, whether you committed that shooting or not, you are responsible for the death that occurred during the course of that felony.
And it's a lot to break down with all those counts. So the next step is the sentencing. What do you think we can expect with that? What should we look for?
I'm expecting life sentences to be imposed on all of them. I think that that's the appropriate sentence, given the nature of this conduct. The court may have some discretion, but not a lot. And I think the issue is really going to be about whether or not there's going to be any parole eligibility for Mr. Bryan and or Greg McMichael. But with life sentences, I think that that's also going to be a long shot for them. And it looks like they're going to be spending the rest of their lives behind bars. And given the nature of the testimony, it seems totally appropriate that that happens.
And this goes without saying, racially charged case that comes a year and a half after the death of George Floyd. So talk about the message this verdict sends.
Well, it's interesting. When the jury was being selected, there were 11 white individuals and 1 African American on this jury. And the judge was concerned when the jury was being picked that the defense was using its challenges to try and pick a biased jury, but the court felt that under the law he couldn't stop that. I think Georgia has set out a message for people who are in this community that the life of a human being matters no matter what color they are. And that this type of offense is not going to be tolerated regardless of color of the jury and their determination. And they came forward and did the right thing. This is a highly racially charged event. And look, as a trial lawyer, I'm glad to see that the jury system worked and it listened to the evidence and I believe found the appropriate verdict in this case.
Legal expert Michael Bachner, we thank you so much for joining us tonight at 7. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, still ahead this evening, we're going to talk about one family's plea for help after a married couple went missing in the woods in New Jersey. Plus, an attempt to steal the Navy's mascot didn't go quite as planned. We'll tell you what some West Point students ended up with.
Dr. Dave Choksi here. We've made progress in our fight against COVID-19, particularly due to vaccination. The science continues to show that the COVID vaccines are safe and save lives. Booster doses are now available, and that's good news. But first doses are even more important than third doses, thanks to the over 6 million New Yorkers who have taken that step. Please share your story with someone still thinking through their decision, and let's keep moving our city forward. we're keeping all avenues open.
Search through hundreds of acres of the pine barrens shows how desperate lawmen are to find them.
There's points where you can't see in front of you because the terrain is so thick, and there's other points where you have to crawl through it. There's some swamp area out there as well.
So as the sun sets on the pinelands, the search is over. They won't do another one for now. They had no luck today. The case being turned over to Stafford police detectives and the Ocean County prosecutor's office. Maybe they can turn up some evidence in this case. In Morning Grove, Brian Thompson is for New York.
So have we brought organized by kids?
So it's good that you give, so people feel like they're being helped.
Introducing you to some young students on Long Island who are spreading joy by giving back.
Wake up with
Today in New York.
tomorrow at 6 NBC covers the home of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Start the fun early. We'll be there live Thursday. Plus, get the latest forecast for the parade and the rest of the weekend. Wake up with NBC for New York.
Are they vaccinated? She said, absolutely. That's all I need to know. Talk to your child's healthcare provider about COVID vaccines for kids 5 and older.
Spectrum Mobile now costs just $29.99 a month when you get 2 or more lines. $29.99? Yes, and you get everything. You get unlimited data and nationwide 5G. And all you're paying is... No, that's what I was going to say. And all this comes on a super secure connection. $29.99. Something new. Are they crazy? Possibly. Are they going to change it? No, they already made the balloons. It's the best deal in mobile. Spectrum Mobile.
New York Connection is brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. Would you scale a Manhattan building or dangle 1,300 feet in the air? Well, get ready to get out of your comfort zone and reach new heights. Come hang out at City Climb at Hudson Yards.
It's really amazing to see the city when no one can see before.
And have the thrill-seeking adventure of a lifetime. New York Connection is brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. Spectrum Mobile has the most reliable service coast to coast. While many of us are getting ready to gather for Thanksgiving, it is so important to remember those who are not able to put food on the table. And that's why some Long Island school kids are getting a first-hand lesson in giving back. News Force Casey Chang has their story.
Great job!
Picking up donations one at a time. These frozen boys none older than 11 are on a mission
There's also this door if you want to put some stuff in this way.
to help feed Long Islanders this holiday. we try to like imagine what it would be like to not have those resources and to be struggling.
The student council at Brookside Elementary organized a food drive.
There's a whole carnival full of summer jobs.
The students answered, donated canned, box, and dry goods, close to 500 items, which broke last year's record.
This is the third year the school has done this. They spend weeks getting people to donate food for the cause, and then they celebrate with this turkey trot.
Baldwin Superintendent Sherry Kelly says citizenship is as elementary here as reading and writing.
They've been engaged in giving back since the beginning of the school year. They do it every year, but this year in particular, there have been multiple charities that they have been working toward helping, and then working with Island Harvest for Thanksgiving is the latest.
Today, the children presented Island Harvest with their holiday.
Will keep us dry tomorrow and mild too. And then that cold front slides east and brings the rain during the morning, well, commute but travel time during the morning on Friday. On the backside of that, it's windy and cold again for Saturday. And then on Sunday, we watch this storm developing and sliding south of us. Anytime a low pressure develops near the coast, we have to watch out because that could mean snow for us this time of year. And at this point, this particular computer forecast is showing measurable snow, even for New York City. Now, this is likely to change, so don't get stuck on these numbers or the placement of them because it's still several days away.
Bueno, ya estamos listos para una prueba. Ya puse el shield lateral de aquí, del otro lado, ya en ambos magnetos van a tener este shield. Vamos a ver qué hace ahora.
So we're going to be watching that very, very carefully. So far, the tree lighting weather looks nice and dry next Wednesday, but it will be chilly with highs in the 40s and lows in the 30s. Happy Thanksgiving. Now they got Happy Thanksgiving. All right, well, we're going to Thanksgiving. Oh, no. Still ahead. You're find out what happened when Army cadets tried to steal the Navy's team mascots.
Get Google the new fallout from a malfunction documentary. Who's really at fault? Only Access has dated stylist sharing his truth. Plus, what surprised this woman most about meeting Megan and the live tumble on The Voice. Is she okay?
If you're feeling uncertain, stressed, or just kind of overwhelmed, New York Project Hope can help. Take a look at our website. There's lots to read and plenty of helpful resources. It's all confidential and free. NYProjectHope.org.
Touch to my heart like
stream. Free installation and more. Switch to Optimum 1 gig internet on our all-new 100% fiber network at optimum.com/comparebyus. Hi, it's Dave Chauncey, the city's doctor, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Tori Sterling.
I'm the Health Department's Chief Equity Officer and First Deputy Commissioner, and we are sharing the good news that children ages 5 to 11 can now get the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine.
Our kids have endured so much over the course of the pandemic. As doctors and as fathers, we are thankful that we can now protect even more children against COVID-19. Pediatricians are strongly recommending that children 5 and older get vaccinated. The science shows the vaccine is safe. Meanwhile, COVID-19 infection can have long-term and sometimes life-threatening effects, even for kids.
The dose for 5 to 11-year-olds is lower than the dose for those 12 and older. There may be some side effects, including redness and swelling on the arm, tiredness, chills, or fever. A second shot of the Pfizer vaccine will be needed 3 weeks after their first shot. And as with all COVID-19 vaccines, they're safe and available at sites throughout the city.
Parents always keep their kids safe. With vaccines, they'll be even safer. If you have questions about the vaccine for your child, please speak with your pediatrician or call 212-COVID-19. Thank you.
Todavía hay que hacer un poco de esfuerzo.
Well, mascot nabbing has been off limits between the Army and the Navy for nearly 30 years, but it didn't stop West Point cadets from trying to steal the Naval Academy's beloved goat. Problem was, they took the wrong one. According to the New York Times, the cadets went to a farm near Annapolis, Maryland, which is home to the Navy mascot Bill. But instead of leading with the current mascot, they actually nabbed a 14-year-old goat who retired way back in 2015. No worries, though, the animal was returned safely. All the animals are just fine. Let's talk about David and Tracy. Let's come up tonight at 11 day.
Now we come on News 4 at 11 to break the investigation of some BB gun shootings abroad. Shootings police have linked to a group of teenagers and civilians. This holiday weekend, we're going to crack down on violent behavior during the weekend. And of course, we'll have all the last minute information for you tomorrow. It's all coming up tonight and live.
Never get tired of that. So much fun. All right, Dave, thanks for that. And that is going to do it for us. We have Access Hollywood coming up next. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you back here for News 4 New York at 11. Have fun.
Get away with our best deal for the season at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving daily, it's the perfect time to get a Hyundai. Now get 0% APR on select all-wheel drive models or sign and drive from home. Hurry in today.
It may be cold outside, but summer lives on at the Funplex. You twisted and turned on reverse time and top and twist. Then through strikes to beat dad, and you own your boardwalk. Shoot around hairpin turns and rituals at the Pit Stop Cafe. Or fighting off zombies on the 4D ride. To run Roblox. Played over 100 arcade games. And beat the boys in a futuristic game of laser tag.
Okay.
Unlimited wristbands today. Funplex.
The magnets still have to make a little force to the opening of the attraction mode magnets in this area. I have to it has to be we need to make a little force to move it in the outward position. So I have to still work in this area to make the magnets open in the attraction mode more easily. I have to continue analysis and research in this area. But the sheet metal, the sheet shield, gives a little improve in the movement. So I'm gonna leave them. Or maybe I have to put more sheet to create the effect. I'm gonna try to put some shield in the middle of here.
My meeting with Justin and Janet was specifically.
We as the producers we weren't in the room. It's not betrayal. He said, she said, even more fallout from the malfunction doc as Janet's stylist, Wayne Scott Lucas, comes only to access to defend his truth.
The outfit did change
Leo, Leo.
A sudden mishap live on The Voice is with me from Team Play, okay? We talk in the restroom, I'm like, and that conversation led to each of them becoming kidney donors for the other's husband. What are the odds? Where is Brittany Stark? Where is Brittany? She's here now. What really surprised her about meeting Megan? I wonder what about that. Welcome back to Hollywood from Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm Kid Hoover. Our exclusive with Janet Jackson, Super Bowl halftime stylist Wayne Scott Lucas continues to make headlines. All is the real story behind that infamous so-called wardrobe malfunction is explored in the new Hulu doc, Malfunction: The Dressing Down of Janet Jackson. Documentary Wayne feels is blaming him unjustly.
I'm watching the show, and I started to get that same tight feeling I got in my throat in 2004. All of a sudden, it's your fault.
The documentary dives deep into the theory that Wayne, along with Janet and Justin, secretly came up with a plan for the shocking onstage exposure, pointing to a pre-performance shocking trip to evidence.
Wayne Scott Lucas is a stylist who was part of Janet's team, and what's been reported is that after the rehearsal for the halftime show the next day, he went out shopping on his own.
Sterling silver sunburst nipple shield, purchased by Jackson's stylist.
I have spent my
Mira que hay que hacer fuerza, mira.
combining nipple rings.
Have to make a little force here.
She's pierced here.
No.
Yeah,
Force,
I was in a shop that
force,
was buying the nipple ring.
force.
Nipple sunburst. And it was this great big
Then-
sunburst.
Uncensored photos from the performance revealed Janet wearing a sunburst nipple ring. So was the intent to expose it. While the documentary also claims Wayne spent time making changes to Janet's costume just days before the show.
Reporting shows that he spent a lot of time with a tailor, and we don't know what it was that was being worked on there, but clearly some of the material was being adjusted.
I did have a tailor in Houston. The outfit did change a couple days before because the skirt wasn't working.
The original plan was for Janet's skirt to come off, removing the G-string underneath, but all agreed it just wasn't working. As for Justin creating the infamous term wardrobe malfunction about Janet's top, well, Wayne insists it functioned exactly as planned.
I was hired to do a job. I did exactly what I was supposed to do.
Adding to the mystery, Sally Frattini, a producer for the halftime show, appeared in the documentary and says there was a secret meeting between Janet, Justin, and Wayne just minutes before they hit the stage. There was a small conversation that lasted minutes in her dressing room. Justin came out. Everyone went off to get in their ready start positions.
My meeting with Justin and Janet was specifically as a meeting goes before every show. And I said, what are we doing? How are we dancing? What's the timing? What's the number?
Wayne claims the producers of the show didn't cut away fast enough, exposing Janet's breast on live TV. Frattini tells Access this is a false statement. Janet and Justin have said it was an accident.
Do you think the stylist can walk in a room and say to a celebrity, you know what? I'll have you naked by the end of that song.
I think that's a Timberlake lyric, but by the way, we reached out to CBS, Janet, Justin, and the documentary producers. Not heard back. But simply, you've got some more music news for me.
That's right, I got you covered, kid. Today, the Grammy gratitude is overflowing. Taylor Swift posted this video of her singing Champagne Problem from Evermore while on set of the music video for While You Think About Me, saying she's so stoked Evermore was nominated. And my Filipina sister, Olivia Rodrigo, posted this picture of a cake, writing her 7 nominations are a dream come true. Well, Ariana Grande got 2 Grammy nominations and last night performed with her team on The Voice. But it was Blake's team performance that's making news today after this on-stage fall on live TV.
A scary tumble for contestant Whitney Moten tripping over a stage monitor following her Teen Blake performance. Blake and her fellow artists quickly gathered around her. Not to worry, Wendy later joined Carson on stage for a health update.
The other second level magnets go here. I had to put shields here, shields here, and here. But after I resolved the problem of here, that I had to make the magnets go up, go out in smooth, easy. It can be, you can't make force to pull it out from there. See? Okay, I'm making force here. No, I can't do that. It go out because of the centrifugal force. He passed that, but it's doing a little force. Similar. It can pass through there, but it's because of the centrifugal force. But it's supposed that the second level magnets to get them out from there. Oh, sorry.
I'm with you on that one. I'm watching too. But right now, let's get to our friends.